This is Admiral Biatch to base camp. It seems the stormtroopers have gone on strike, and I have no experience with this type of shit. Who should I call for help?
It's the B to the A to the D-E-R. Reconstructing the Death Star with my slick suede suit that's black like tar. Fucking you up no matter who you are.
Tell the motherfuckers about to skip dark side.
Dark side.
On your planet Death Star drive by. Them ain't no rebels cause the skills ain't shit. Ain't shit.
My TIE fighter zigzag stay lit.
Oh shit! Yoda on the scene, 900-year fiend, smoking Dagobah green. Bitches on my tip like Lando on liquor.
Oh, you're just jealous cause my black dick's thicker. Yo, tell him Chewie last night I had Leia all drunk, wanted to sue me.
Shut the fuck up, man. Leia's my sister. The only thing you're getting is a beat-off blister.
Luke, use the Force before intercourse, but Luke, don't forget, bitches ain't nothing but hoes and tricks.
Obi-Wan, I'm the Top Gun. The chosen one, hotter than both sons. Vader ain't shit, his head's cut up and split. He's slower than the first Pentium chip.
Shit. No one brings it worse in this fucking universe.
Rebel. You know we'll fucking win, cause we'll fight till the end.
I can feel the anger dwelling within you.
Rebel.
You also feel Vader's dick in you, biatch.
Bitch, I control. Just on my tierra. Munda la fiesta. Canto Jabba tierra.
Jabba, you ain't nothing but a fat-ass slug. Fake gold chains, you sorry-ass thug. Sitting in your palace with your blue-headed whore. Trapdoor to the Rancor.
Oh, my goodness gracious me. On the gay man's golden fantasy. Programs for homo ecstasy. 10 billion forms of gay positioning. For my golden shower, you must pay a fee. But R2D2 gives it up for free. R2D2, what's your language? Always having sex with robotic strangers.
Misa like to drink and smoke all night. Misa like to fight and fuck your wife. Misa don't care cause Misa so dumb. Misa will fuck you with me thumb. Misa wants a Misa cause a Misa wants some. Misa wants a Misa cause a Misa wants some. Misa wants a Misa cause a Misa wants some. Misa wants some cause Misa wanna come.
Hello, everybody. This is Awesome Sauce Radio. Awesome Sauce. Yeah, that didn't hurt my ribs. My ribs are a little sore because my 5-year-old nephew was pretending to be the Macho Man on Easter, and he really messed up my ribs. And his older sister, who's 8 years old, didn't help either. You know, I was like a human jungle Joe. Before we get to the heart of Miller, bring in the guest, bring in JV, I'd like to thank tonight's sponsor. I'd like to thank the Marco's Pizza, the official pizzeria of Awesome Sauce Radio. Their food is delicious and nutritious, and they are a great business for over 40 years. 1926 Union Valley Road, Hewitt, New Jersey, 07421, 973-728-1344, marcospizza.com. They have a great place to eat in, take out, get all your events catered. Go there and make your own pizza. They're awesome. I love the place. DeMarco's Pizza, 1926 Union Valley Road, New Jersey, 07421, 973-728-1344, DeMarco'sPizza.com. Tell him about Adam sent you. I also want to shout out Hive Comics. Hive Comics, home of all the hottest exclusive custom comics with all the industry's hottest artists. Assuming that the guest is here, but we'll say a quick hello. We'll say what's up to our main man in the chair, our tag team partner, the Puerto Rican sex god, making wheelchairs great all day, every day. What's up, JB Wheels?
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
What's up, fined? What are you getting fined for, man?
I don't know.
What insanity are you doing to get fined?
You never know. Anyway, our guest is here, so I'm gonna get out of the way.
All right. Hey, what's up, James?
About him?
Not much. Just had a long week of adulting and taking care of a few things, and Cat sitting.
Hmm.
Well, my parents are outpatient.
Adulting's the worst.
Yeah, but stuff has to be done.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it. If
Yeah.
anybody out there is wanting to know if adulting is worth it, the answer is no.
It's sometimes it is. Like I said, if anyone wants a spoiled rotten cat, if my cat knocks over its water bowl one more time, I'm putting it up on auction somewhere.
Do it on Whatnot. You can auction anything on there.
No, I'm not going to try that. So how is C2E2?
Did you see that guy try and auction his Glock on there?
Yeah, I did. And that's
nobody bid. I mean, $500 wasn't a bad price.
No, it wasn't actually.
No, it was a good deal.
I mean, and honestly, over the years, that's not the worst thing that's ever happened on Whatnot either.
No.
I mean, we had someone pull a gun on someone on a show. There's been a bunch of instances of people doing coke on shows. You know, it's Whatnot.
You know what though? Before Whatnot was what Facebook Live and Instagram Live, and there's definitely way worse stuff that's happened on both of those. So.
Oh yeah. So, how are things in the world of eBay Live, sir?
They're good. They're really good. I've been plugging away at my weekend sales. I've got some really cool consignment in lately that I'm going to start running like during the daytime, but it's hard because people forget it's just me, you know? And so like wearing multiple hats gets to be pretty difficult, you know, doing the live sales. And then we've got, like, I just had an exclusive that came in today. So now tomorrow's all packaging and shipping. I had all this last week's been sending stuff off to CGC from C2E2 and MegaCon, like all the signatures, things like that. And I got to get ready for upcoming convention in Vegas and the exclusives that we've got to have ready for that.
So are you going to be at Amazing?
Yeah.
Shout out to Amazing Comic-Con, one of my favorite shows of the year. I will not be there this year due to the adulting that I'm doing. You know, I'm basically taking a break from everything besides the podcast, you know, to at least June.
Yeah.
Between health and taking care of the other little personal matters that just need to be taken care of so I can get back to doing the things I love.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to put stuff on pause to handle what's really important, you know?
Yeah, so that's what I'm doing at the moment. How was C2E2 this year?
It was good. I was only there a day and a half, but I got to hand it out to like Tinion's team and like, I mean, what a well-oiled machine the Tiny Onion crew is. Like, they're amazing. They have everybody in the perfect role over there. Everybody knows what they need to do. It's amazing. And then that with Scott's Collectibles, like those guys.
I love Daniel. I love Daniel.
Dude, they're killing it over there. But I rolled up with my case that Saturday, halfway through the show, right? Because I didn't get in until like 3 o'clock or 3:30. So I roll in with my case, and I've got this big obnoxious case that carries like 2 short boxes. And anybody that's watching this later or listening to it later, like, it's not what you think. It's a military grade case. It's like it's the type of thing you would put something very nefarious in. But I roll in with this case. It's got 2 short boxes in it, 135 signatures for Tinian. And I walk up to the booth, and Tinian sees me, says, "Hey, what's up?" You know, so we start talking for a minute. And he goes, "How many books you got for me?" And I like 135. And then I think it was Ryan from Scott's Collectibles was like, "Well, are they prepped up and ready to go?" And I said, "Of course, man. They're window bagged like always, and everything's ready." And he goes, "Cool, just leave it here if you want. And we'll get it taken care of first thing tomorrow morning, and you just come by and pick it up." So it was perfect. So I dropped off this big case, and then I stood there in the aisle for 5 minutes going like, well, now I don't have anything to do today because that's all I was going to get done that day. So I got to run around and go see Jenny and her husband and couple other people, and it was nice and mellow. It wasn't as busy as it was last year. I will say that.
All right. What was that? So was MegaCon the busier of the two shows?
Yeah. And MegaCon didn't feel as busy. I'm sure the numbers reflect otherwise, but that they had it at that other convention center across the street. Because I guess they're doing some remodeling at the one they normally have.
Was it at the convention center? It was when I went there in 22.
It was in the west one this year.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. And that convention center is a little more spread out, so it didn't feel as busy. But then if you like went out to the concourse area where like all the panel rooms and everything else was, that was definitely super busy. And so I feel like it was probably the same amount of people or more people, but the show floor felt a lot easier to move around than at the East Convention Center.
All right, cool. I hopefully next year I can make MegaCon.
Yeah, it's a good one.
I had fun. It just, like I said, sometimes it feels like with conventions, they just lately everything lines up right after the other.
Yeah.
Especially with when I got my 2 foots in both worlds, starting from April to December too. So one of these years, I do want to try to do all 4 Exoticas in a year. But
a lot, man. It's a lot. Like doing conventions in general, like they're so much fun, and people underestimate how much fun they are, especially when you're part of the industry and like it's an excuse to see all your friends you haven't seen for months and months and things like that.
It's great. And I'm going to echo something from Brian over on Beyond Wednesdays. The thing for me is not even getting exclusives anymore. It's really just getting to see people I only see in chat rooms and through YouTube shows. Yeah,
that's been my priority for the last year and a half, 2 years. And don't get me wrong, I still get exclusives, but I wasn't that first day of MegaCon, and then when I went in on C2E2, I wasn't rushing to a table. There wasn't anything I wasn't like, oh, I have to get here and get this. I have to get to Trinity's booth because they have 3 amazing exclusives. I didn't do that. I just walked in like a normal person, walked around, got signatures done with my witness. And then, and then I walked around when I had free time and was like, oh, you still got that available? I'll grab a few, and it was nice. It was not stressful at all. And I was able to get everything I wanted to get anyways without having to stand in lines for 2.5 hours. So I think that's the way to do it. Just prioritize the community more than you prioritize the picking up this and that exclusive, because they're all available later. Every exclusive I picked up, you can buy them. Yeah, you can buy them right now. Some of them went up in price a little bit, but I'd rather pay $20 extra to have not stood in line for 2.5 hours. And it's a lot of those books, they're $20 more than they were at the table, maybe 30. And it's but you don't have to stand in line. And in some instances, they're already signed. So instead of standing in line to go pick up the Trinity exclusive and then taking over to the artist to get signed, you just hop online and pay $30 extra or $40 extra and pick it up, save yourself.
Exactly.
Time's valuable, man. Time's way valuable.
I want to congratulate you on your Absolute Batman 19.
Thank you.
JV, if you can go to the Hive website and pull up the Absolute Batman 19. So what was it? How did you get Lobos on board for this one?
We asked, man. He's been wanting to do another exclusive with us for a while. I had a nice local dude that does swap meets, and then he's on Whatnot now, Pop Culture Comics. Great local dealer. He hit me up wanting to do some exclusives, and I said, well, what were you thinking? And he said, well, I'd love to do an Absolute Batman. So we started talking more and more about it. Found out 19 was going to be a first appearance. So we said, okay, let's put in for 19. And then DC said, give us a list of a couple artists you want to use. And we sent him 2 artists that we knew we wouldn't get. And we sent him Lobos because we'd already made sure Lobos' schedule was clear. And so we were able to line it up with Lobos, and they were happy with it because, you know, DC loves Pablo. So they were really happy about him being on an Absolute Batman. So yeah, and it turned out great. I'm excited to see them. They come in. We just got shipping notification today. So I think they come in on Friday or Saturday. We'll have them in hand, but I'm really looking forward to seeing that foil in person. Because I think with those background, the greens on foils look amazing. Greens, pinks, purples, they look amazing. So it's gonna be really cool to see.
Oh, sweet. Like I said, I'm looking forward to reading the Guts too, because Absolute Batman for me right now is the one book that when it comes out, it's the first thing I read.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited to see how they introduce I'm excited to see what kind of Scarecrow we get, is honestly what it is.
Yeah, 19 and 20 are the two books I'm really like super looking forward to.
Yeah.
I also want to see how they're going to be doing Robin's, you know, as well.
What do you think about Absolute Catwoman?
I think that's every fetish model I've ever encountered in my life. You know, look-wise. Enjoying what they're doing with the story with her, and it's going to be intriguing.
Yeah, it could be good. I mean, they've so far most of the Absolute stuff's been pretty amazing. So
yeah, I think people are sleeping on Absolute Martian Manhunter.
I think so too. His line, the writer, his line at C2E2 was insane. It was insane.
Yeah, like I said, I just caught up on Absolute Martian Manhunter, and I was like, I'm glad I read it. I read all like 10 issues in a row.
Yeah.
You know, 'cause it just was a psychedelic trip that I was like, I was not expecting this.
Was it a slow start on that book? Because I didn't hear a lot of hype right at the beginning, but now
yeah, like the first like 4 issues are like super slow. So what? How do you think? What is your thoughts on the variant game right now? It seems like everyone has something coming out, especially for like Absolute stuff.
DC has made it slightly prohibitive with their print run minimums, but I think in a good way. I think they understand that oversaturation can be bad, but I don't know if they didn't fully commit, right? So what they did is they gave a crazy high print run. People, of course, retailers shared the exclusive amongst each other, but you still had like 70 exclusives for 19. And I don't think that's counting individual covers. No, it has to be, right? It has to be counting individual covers. So, but I mean, still, that's a lot, you know? And like, I would like to see them do what some of these other publishers are doing and put a limit on it, but then you're gatekeeping. So it's like, how do you do it in a way that you don't piss off, you know, the retailers? Because at the end of the day, like us retailers, we're the biggest, as far as publishers go, like we're the biggest, we're the reason they exist. It's not, and I don't just mean online retailers, I mean brick and mortar guys too, because there was brick and mortar stores that did exclusives. And there always is. So like you can't really say we can only do 10 exclusives without pissing off a bunch of retailers that you've had long-standing relationships with. So I don't know, publishers are kind of backed into a corner in a way, you know, and there's some publishers that are doing some interesting things in that space where they're doing some stuff different. They're saying, you know, damn the numbers and damn the sales numbers, and we're going to make sure that everything's curated and put out properly, and that only a limited amount of people that we trust and believe in are going to be able to put out product. But yeah, I don't know. I will say this, it's definitely not as bad as it has been. It's a lot of people on Absolute, sure, but like you've got plenty of these other exclusives that are great books that are getting, you know, 4 or 5 exclusives.
Oh yeah,
I mean, it's nothing super crazy.
Like I said, it seems like it's calmed down compared to just a couple years ago.
Yeah,
you know,
I think people forget that. Like, COVID, like during COVID, everyone had an exclusive. The beginning of the Whatnot days, everyone had an exclusive. Well, COVID was there was a bunch of us bigger guys that were doing a ton of exclusives. It wasn't a bunch of small guys doing a ton. It was like Hive and Trinity, all these other dudes over at Comics Elite.
When I first started getting into the YouTube comic book community around 19 and 20, it was like you, Bird City, Trinity, Frankie's, which is gone.
Nelson, Big Time Collectibles.
Yep.
And then you had Sean over at Comics Elite.
Yeah, who I basically for some reason just started discovering now for some weird reason.
That is weird. But yeah, I mean, it was kind of just us, right? And you had some of us pivoted to Marvel and DC earlier. Like you had Sean pivoted to Marvel and DC almost immediately. Nelson took a little time, but he got there. The rest of these guys pivoted. And then Jonathan and I over at Hive, we stuck to the indie stuff. So we were able to like still do books that like there wasn't a lot of competition on some of these. Like when we started doing Department of Truth and Something is Killing the Children and stuff like that, there wasn't a lot of people doing them, you know, but there was money during COVID. So we were able to do an exclusive. I mean, we were doing an exclusive a week at one point, and so are these other retailers. So it seemed like a lot. And then with Whatnot, they handed the keys of being a retailer to a ton of other people, and which is a great thing. But that's when we saw this huge influx of like anybody with any sort of money can put an exclusive.
Yeah, I know. Every time there is a Whatnot, every time you turned around, it was like, someone's doing this. Something's killing the children. Here's another Department of Truth. Here's a You Poo book.
Yeah.
Or here's a You Poo glitter sprinkle scratch and sniff, edition.
Yeah. And I mean, it's kind of that way now too, but I feel like it's not as bad as it was.
Yeah.
Because it costs a lot of money. Like people don't realize and it's speculative at best because you have to pick the right artist. You have to pick the right title, but also you have to drop it at the right time. You have to be concerned about your competition because you might have what you think is the best cover in the world, but you're not buying your book. The consumer is. And if there's 5 or 6 other exclusives that are out there that are better than yours, you're going to be hurting. So like you have to be able to spend and splurge. So it's not, you can't just get a cheap artist. You can't just get any old book. Like you have to really do your homework and your research. And a lot of it comes from I told people this all during MegaCon, a bunch of retailers that are like newer to the game or guys that were asking for advice because we've been around for, Hive's been around forever. And I told a lot of them, I said, it's all numbers. Like, because it was how do you decide this? How do you pick that? And it's like, it's numbers. At the end of the day, you have to be a fan, and you pick people based on that too. But like numbers, like I know I can sell Suspiria covers. So guess who's doing my next 5 Something is Killing the Children's?
Suspiria.
Yeah.
So
and I really, really like her as a person. And at the end of the day, if I'm going to give my money to an artist, I want it to be somebody I like.
Yeah. And she is a sweetheart.
Yeah, she's amazing. She's so nice.
Yeah. But what do you, for Something's with her and Something's Killing the Children, your first one was at 46?
Yeah, 46. Which just came in today. They're amazing. And then we did 1, but 1 came out before 46.
All right, and that was the one you did for what was that? C2E2, the number 1
for MegaCon, yeah.
Or it was MegaCon, excuse me.
Yeah, and that thing sold like crazy.
Yeah,
I'm down to, I think, my last couple of bundles. I was sold out, but I had her sign some extras just in case of damages or anything like that. I had her sign, I guess, 15 extra books. So I got home, I threw together 15 more sets because I didn't need any for damages. Boom printed. Whoever Boom's using, I think Boom uses Transcon. I'm not sure though. Mm-hmm. But whoever they're using for their printing is killing it because I don't think I had I had maybe 1 damage in the entire print run.
Wow.
Which is insane. So, so I had a bunch of extras.
That's
and now
awesome.
I'm like, well, not a bunch of extras, but you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But I still have a bunch of raw copies. I just haven't decided what I'm doing with them yet.
Oh, sweet. AJB, can you bring up the first thing on the hit list and just remind me what it is?
Should be the Dan Carlo Archie potato tip.
Yeah. Are you aware of the Archie original art auction going on in Heritage right now?
No.
Yeah, they're doing a all Archie original art, and some of this, I'm just amazed at how cheap you can get original art of Archie stuff for. Yeah, this is some potato chip promo comic that I have up, but there's like an original piece from Josie and the Pussycats from one of the Hostess fruit pie ads. And they're all like a couple of them are like under $200. I just find it fascinating that Archie is like that cheap.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in advertisement pieces, they're weird, right? Because they're not a comic book, but it is a comic. So it's always been interesting to me. Like there's some vintage Superman promo stuff and pamphlets and things like that like sell for like hundreds of dollars that you're like, all the comic books that came out that same time period with Superman are like tens of thousands of dollars. There's stuff like that all over comics where it's like, I don't get why that stuff isn't getting as much love, because it's the same creators, same artists. It's just a mini comic, but there's just not as much love for it. And I think that, obviously in the OA space, it's the same. And it's weird. It's weird to me.
Yeah, I just found it very fascinating as I was looking, and then I went on eBay and I started looking at, DeCarlo and Dan Perrin and the main Archie artists over the years. That their OA is like super cheap.
Yeah. Yeah, Dan Parent stuff's super accessible.
Yeah, so I was like, holy cow.
Yeah.
So that might be a rabbit hole I eventually go down now.
Always a great rabbit hole.
Like I said, I think it's a matter of time before, the in the window Archie stuff goes up again. As I recently got my Archie Holy Grail was the Betty ME16.
Yeah. Yeah, I think with books like that, right? Because we talk about, not just books like that, but like with art like that and properties like that, it's at the end of the day, comics, a lot of it is nostalgia. And so you've got guys like us that have different nostalgia than other people. And right now just might be one of those times that like the nostalgia feels aren't hitting the Archie stuff, but stuff like that doesn't last. Eventually you have a bunch of people that, start getting nostalgic for those things and it comes back around. So we see that with, I always laugh that like you could like Adam Hughes stuff, like Adam Hughes exclusives, not his art. His art's usually pretty consistent, but like his exclusives, right? You'd have a 9/8 series of some crazy high sought after Catwoman, right? And it's $600. And then 7 months later, nobody's thinking about it and they start going for 400 again or 300 again, and there's always these ebbs and flows where like the second Adam does another amazing cover, like really, really pulls a really good Adam Hughes, then all of his stuff rockets up again. So yeah, I don't know. I think with the Archie stuff, the next time there's things like that, people will jump back on it again. And
hopefully the thing they're going to have going on with Oni Press later in the year with the dude from Ice Cream Man.
Mastrazo or
no, the writer.
Tinian?
No, not Tinian.
No, Tinian, right? No, it's Oh God, what's his name? I know who you're talking about. I just can't think of his name.
Yeah, like I said, it looks like they got this new deal with Oni Press, and the creative teams they're picking look amazing.
Yeah.
So hopefully that will give it a shot in the arm, and they got Tom King working on an Archie movie, so
yeah.
Enough time from the ending of Riverdale's past to where some fresh blood. I had a question about live selling. For what advice would you give for someone just starting to do live sales? Facebook, Instagram.
It's hard to naturally build a following if you don't already have one. Like starting to do live sales and just doing it. It's going to be daunting if it's your first time. If you're new to it, you're going to be selling to a lot of empty rooms or empty wallets. But consistency is probably the number one thing I would say. It's pick your days and times that you religiously can run your live sales, and people will remember that and they'll know that. But once you set those times and you're always doing those times, don't be afraid to stretch outside of those from time on occasion. Cause like me doing some more daytime sales when I used to only do evenings, right? Some of those customers from my daytime sales are coming to my evening sales now. So every once in a while it's good to like dip your toes into other time slots, but you should always have your staple, like these are the days and the times every single week that I'm live. That's like the number one thing is consistency.
Yeah, I might just actually incorporate doing a live sell for the channel here every so often too.
Yeah.
Like I said, I just got a bunch of other crap I want to get out of my life first before I that's taking up some of my focus right now.
Yeah. I hate to hear this excuse from people all the time that they're waiting to like, I'm waiting till I stock up on this, or I'm waiting till this and that. And it's like, well, you're waiting to like have really good stuff to sell, but you're going to sell to nobody your first 10 times. Like just assume you're not selling to anybody. Yeah,
I have a dollar box ready to go. I haven't had the time to get to it yet.
Yeah, but you got to run even the shitty stuff. You got to run just to run. And then eventually you start building up a following, and that's when you can run the cool stuff. Like I've gotten to the point now I can run the cool stuff.
Yeah,
and it takes a while.
I got a box of free comic book day stuff from the last 2 years. I'd like to see go bye. And it's like cool stuff, Transformers and G.I. Joe and, whatever the hot thing for free comic book day was that year.
Yeah. But the other thing is be yourself. I mean, if you're not entertaining, then I guess you got to try and pretend to be somebody else. But if you're not entertaining, doing live sales might not work for you anyways.
Exactly.
But like, you got to be yourself because you're going to be that person how many nights a week? Like, you got to be yourself, and you got to have fun. Like, my buddy Matt, right? He's been killing it on Whatnot. He got onto it, I mean, just in the last year and a half. And I sat in and watched one of his live sales last night, and he's killing it. He's absolutely killing it. And it's because he's consistent and he's himself. Like the person you get in his live sales is him all the time. He's sarcastic, he's snarky, but like the people that are watching his live sale, they love that about him. So they give it right back to him in the chat, and it makes it fun.
Sweet. But
if you're trying to pretend to be somebody else, then you're just going to get annoyed when people treat you like that person you're pretending to be.
Yeah.
So if it's not fun, your buyers are going to know it's not fun.
Yeah.
So I've skipped sales before on my regular nights because I just wasn't feeling myself, and that's okay.
All right, cool. And I thank you for the advice. And my cat Alex is saying hello to the audience at the moment. After I finish the podcast, you can have a snack. You don't need any more snacks, buddy. You're getting too fat. Can't pick you up anymore. Yeah, my parents are over in Vietnam on vacation, so I've been cat sitting for them in the last 2 weeks.
Fun.
There's worse things I could be doing, and he's a well-behaved cat who just, is starting to realize, wait, there used to be 2 other people who used to live where the hell did they go?
Yeah.
JB, can you bring up the next thing on the hit list,
Sure.
please? And just to give me a reminder of what it is.
The famed Charlie Cox.
I want to say, what is your opinion on some of the grifting bullshit we have to deal with in the industry lately? Whether it's these fame books or M House.
I mean, I hate that shit. I'm very vocal about that. I think it's I think it's gross. I think using somebody's likeness or telling somebody's story without their permission is gross. And I don't care if it's a famous person or your next door neighbor or your best friend. I just think it's gross. So the fame books, I've always thought that it's like, it says a lot about who you are as a retailer if that's something you choose to do. Yeah. And I've made note of it. I've made note of retailers that I'm like, wow, I thought more of you. You know, I thought you didn't have to reach this low to like do this sort of thing. You know, I thought you were pretty legitimate. Yeah. But it's definitely one of those things, like, to me, if you're doing books, like if you're doing fame books or you're doing anything like that, to me, it's like, I feel like it's a desperation move. And I feel like it's, you're just doing it because you're obviously not doing it because you love comics. You're doing it because you love that you can make money. And if you're in the industry just because of money, I don't know that the industry is going to have you around for very long. You know?
Yes, and that goes to the joke I make in the chat all the time. What does OnlyFans and whatnot have in common? A bunch of cheap plastic whores who spread their legs for every dollar they can grab.
Yeah.
I said, oh, cool. There's until I found out this was a fan book, I thought it was a Charlie Cox photo cover that I was not aware of.
Yeah.
And then I looked at the listing again. It's like, another one of these bullshits.
Yeah. And it's manipulative on that level, right? Like, you go to a convention and you see a Charlie Cox book where he's dressed up like something that resembles Daredevil, and you're a Daredevil fan. You want to go get
signed by him because you're a fan of Daredevil.
Yeah. So you're going to pick it. You're going to spend $40 or sometimes way more. Some of these guys charge a lot of money for these books because they can get away with super low print runs, right? And it's like, it's just super manipulative. And at the end of the day, as a retailer, like, your number one job is to not leave your customers with buyer's remorse. Because the second you do that, you lost them forever. You lost them forever. And you didn't do right by them. Like, everybody works hard for their money.
Exactly.
I mean, you think about it, if you charge $40 for an exclusive, which I've seen plenty selling for that much, right? You can.
I've never do something quantity, and that's my problem with the other biggest grifter in this industry. Hey, Melinda, how you doing, bitch? M House Publishing. Once I'm back to 100% health, one of my goals is to put her out of business.
Yeah.
The way Vince McMahon put WCW out of business.
I just, but yeah, anyways, what I was getting at was like, you have to assume that, like, somebody worked their job, because you will have customers that have the worst jobs imaginable, that are barely making ends meet, that still want to buy a book from you. And because that's the joy they get out of the day, right? Is that comic, and they really like that artist, or they really like that writer or whatever. And, like, you have to assume that the person you're selling to worked 2 hours at a miserable job to afford that book. So, like, they should be treated with a lot of respect and a lot of kindness, because they're putting their hard-earned money in your hands so that you can give them a product. And like,
hopefully at the end of the day, as a retailer, whether I'm selling laughter on the comedy stage or a piece of art or a comic, is I want them to be happy and, like, go home enjoying what they bought, and not going,
exactly.
What the hell is this
so
bullshit?
Remorseful that that's where they've spent their money.
Yeah.
You know.
So, and forgive me for my rant on the M House, but if you're gonna do cosplay books, have enough sense to actually do real cosplay, and not this AI crap. My cat can do better AI than that shit, but that's another story.
Yeah, but those people see themselves out of the industry all the time. So
Yeah, their OnlyFans want to be failures, and that's all I gotta say on that. Speaking of Daredevil, you watching Born Again season 2?
when did that drop?
Born Again season 2 dropped a couple weeks ago.
No, I'm way behind, bro. MegaCon and C2E2 got me twisted up.
No, I can imagine. It's two of the biggest shows of the year. Back to back like that.
Yeah, I started watching One Piece. I got caught up on that.
Haven't had the opportunity yet.
It's been good.
Let me ask you this, for the live action One Piece, does it help to be a fan of the original anime, or can you go into it blind?
I've never seen the original anime.
All right.
Never. And I really liked the season 1 was amazing. Season 2's been good. I think season 1 was amazing. But yeah, I don't think you have to be a fan. I don't know, maybe I would like it more, or maybe I'd like it less actually if I was a fan of the anime, but I'm not. I came into it with entertainment,
And because now it's got The Boys season 5 just dropped.
Yep.
Invincible's been killing it week after week. And I'd like to get this to eventually watching Ted season 2.
Ted season 2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because it's the best thing that Seth MacFarlane has his name on right now.
Yeah. It was really good. Or season 1 was really good.
Excuse me, JB, you can skip over the Daredevil Born Again poster. And you can go to the next thing on the hit list after that, which I believe should be the Invincible. This license to print money.
I have the Superman Batman number 8.
All right, never mind. All right, Superman Batman number 8. When do you think Michael Turner is going to finally really start to get his flowers?
God, that's a good question. It should have happened forever ago. I don't know. I saw what was it? Crazy Michael Turner piece selling a live sale the other day. Really obscure one too. It was like a variant of something. Man, I wish I could remember what it was. But yeah, it went for a criminally low amount of money. But no, I've always been a Turner fan. I collect Turner stuff. Anytime I buy anything and it's got his name on it, if I don't already have it, it's going in my collection. But yeah, I don't know, man. You wonder if it's ever going to happen. If it hasn't,
in the world where you have Sabina blowing up, and the last 5 years, Dave Stevens' books has been a license to print money, and it's just. I just find it criminal that I can find issues of the original Fathom in dollar boxes.
Yeah.
Witchblade 1 for the OG Witchblade 1 for like under $20.
Yeah, I mean, there's a number of artists right now that we all love and enjoy that were definitely heavily influenced by Turner's work. And, there's a place for his art even now. If he was still around and doing it, he'd be one of the big boys, and everyone would be talking about him and ranting and raving about him. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know when he's going to get his flowers.
Yeah, man. Like I said, because even the Superman Batman stuff, it's so cheap.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got a good stash. I got a good graded stash of Turner stuff. I've got a good raw stash of Turner stuff for if and when it does happen. Because you see stuff all the time that slides through the cracks with Turner stuff on eBay and things like that, where you can snag some pretty important pieces for relatively cheap. You can buy signed pieces, send them off for JSA,
and I see a lot of his signed stuff going for under $200.
I know, it's crazy, and he ain't out there signing like it's it. What's out there is out there, and that's it.
Yeah, he passed away in 2008, way too soon. I met him a few times. He was a sweetheart. he's one of the few artists in the industry who actually took my idea of putting comic books on Braille seriously. You know, and wish me the best of luck with eventually doing something like that.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. Have you seen the trailers for the new Supergirl movie yet?
I've seen a little. I've seen bits. I've seen not the trailer. No.
You know, it looks amazing. Momoa as Lobo's really got me excited.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that. I just picked up another first appearance of Lobo the other day. I'm pretty happy about, and like, I don't know. I'm excited to see him. I hope it's done right. I was talking to my son Daniel about it though, and like what better casting, you know, could you have possibly done? Like the dude he rides motorcycles for fun. Yeah. He's built like the guy. He looks similar enough to the guy. Like it was almost like they created the character knowing that one day Jason Momoa would be born, you know, or like be around.
And all his stories about when he got cast as Aquaman, he was saying, "Yeah, when I got the call, I thought I was going to be Lobo."
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, it's the easiest casting on the planet. Like hands down, the easiest casting on the planet. But yeah,
and
I don't know.
The new Lobo book from DC, which is coming out perfect timing. I read issue 1, and it was Scotty Young just killed it writing Lobo.
I haven't read it yet. I've got a copy set aside. I ended up getting a bunch of the EOM variants for it to go get him to sign them, and but yeah, I ordered an extra couple to set aside, but I still haven't read them yet. I'm still behind on reading, dude, with the last couple of cons and getting ready for them. I'm a month and a half behind on almost everything.
Yeah, that's been the cool thing about just doing the podcast and taking care of my personal matters, is I've gotten to catch up on almost everything right now.
Yeah, I'm way behind. I have at least a short box and a half of stuff, and then a couple of trades that I've got to read through to get caught up on everything. I'll find the time eventually. I don't know when, but eventually.
You know what? Like I said, I'm really looking forward to seeing, you know, the Alcock as Supergirl too. Look, you know, very faithful to that Tom Kane miniseries, so it looks sweet. JD, can you go to the next shot, please?
Yep. It is the Marvel Born Again poster.
All right, yeah, you can go to the next one after that.
That would be the Invincible.
Yep. The hottest one of the hottest properties on the planet after Absolute.
Oh yeah.
You know, do you see it slowing down anytime soon or no?
I mean, if they keep doing cool stuff like they have been, I don't know why it would slow down. You know what I mean? Like the series has been great. All the offshoot stuff they've done in the Invincible universe to date has been really, really good. I don't see it slowing. I mean, it'll have to, but like right now, I don't see it slowing down one bit.
And it's already been, I think renewed up to season 6.
Mm-hmm.
I keep on hearing rumors about live action at some point.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just it's my favorite thing on Prime. The animated series is the closest thing to a motion comic that I'm getting for the series.
Yeah, and it's been fantastic. They put the right voice actors in place, and they have the right team producing it, and it's faithful enough to the comic that people are happy. It's doing just enough fan service while still being its own thing, and I mean it's everything you would want it to be.
Oh yeah, it's a blast. I wish Adam Eve would have a little bit more cosplay, but that's just my personal opinion. You know, And they did start the One Trend comics that I've made fun of a lot. And Blind Bag started with a Battle Beast.
Yep.
What is your opinion on the whole Blind Bag phenomena?
I mean, they're fun. They have to be done right, but they're fun. Like, look at the way Clutch did his, right?
That was phenomenal.
Yeah, it was perfect. There was one recently I had some for. It was an Exquisite Corpses. It was put together by a retailer, but he did 7 different covers. He did 4 versions of every cover. So he had like the trade and the virgin and the foil and the whatevers, you know, and like he put one together. It was really decent. I think if they're done right, they're great. There has to be enough variation in there. The stuff DC's doing and Marvel's doing, where it's like, well, you can get these special covers, but you can also get the A, B, and C's, and you can also do the, like, nobody wants that. You know?
Actually, I think the Daredevil one that just came out was probably the best one Marvel has done.
Yeah.
You know,
and it's but look at it, and they're the only. I guess there was one variant in there people wanted, and then there was the sketch covers.
And then,
nobody gave a shit about the rest of the covers.
Yeah.
And like that's kind of a problem, you know. They're trying to play exclusive retailer without actually making anything that they do really all that exclusive, and it's you can't do that. So they're on the right path. Like the big publishers are on the right path. They're just not doing it the right way. But you have like, there's ways to still do it and make it special. Like Boom had at C2E2, Boom had the Jenny Frizen bags, which there was only 8 covers, right? But like some of the covers are like the lowest print run Jenny Frizen covers you're ever going to put your hands on, you know? And it was a very limited print run and things like that. They did some really cool stuff, and like heavily curated bags like that can work really, really well. They were fun.
Yeah.
The Scott's Collectibles ones were great. They had 18 different covers. Those were done really, really well. You had Tynion's first ever comic book cover was one of the exclusives in there, and Martin Simmons did an amazing Octo that was in there. Like,
oh, nice.
Like those ones are cool.
Yeah, the only one I thought that really sucked was the one from Batman 1.
Yeah. I liked the Superman one. I think it was an eBay one. The Superman one they did a year and a half ago. That one was pretty cool. There wasn't a ton of covers, but there was that really cool McFarlane Superman.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, that one. And like almost every single one of the books that was in those bags sells for really decent money. Like right now still. I ended up getting one of the McFarlanes signed by Todd, and I threw it up on a 10-day auction on eBay, and it sold for like $800. Like, it's crazy. But like, so I mean, there's some people are doing pretty cool ones. I don't have any plans on doing any, but
and just to let everyone know who watches this on the rewind, I don't have, in reality, I have no problems with blind bags. I just like making fun of it in chats.
Yeah. I just, as long as they're done right, I think they're pretty cool. I think it brings another level of excitement. But at the end of the day, like I said, you don't want people to have buyer's remorse, right? So like if you can put together a blind bag and every single book that's in there is just really, really cool, then I think that then they're great and you should do them. But if you're going to do it and only half of the stuff that's in there is stuff people are going to want, then you probably shouldn't do it.
I don't want it to become mystery boxes 2.0 where, you know, in the beginning, mystery boxes were the coolest thing on the planet, and then they became total shit. But
yeah, because it was tossing in old stuff, right? And I think we do see that from time to time with some mystery bags where it's like, yeah, you get this cool variant and something from our last 10 years of history. Well, it's like, well, if I wanted it and it's been out for 10 years, I'd have it.
I'd probably
like I already have it. I don't need you to give it to me in mystery bag form. Like, I'll just go buy it. Like, give me something that I can only get in the bags. Like, that's cool. Don't give me something that's 5 or 6 years old. I don't give a shit about.
Yeah, that's the reason I stopped doing a lot of the like Loot Crate.
Mm-hmm.
I did it for 3 months. I thought it was cool, and then it's like, really, a Thanos, oven mitt that burned in like 2 seconds? No, thank you. And the share. If I want the shirts that come in those Loot Crates, I can just get the shirts that by themselves on eBay. Hey, JB, what was next on my hit list, bud?
After, sorry, I believe after should have been the Supergirl poster.
Yeah, you knock out the Supergirl poster.
Then it was the comics TMNT.
Oh yeah. Did you have a chance to check out that Comics the magazine yet?
The what?
Comics the magazine.
No, I've got the Batman one. I haven't opened it up yet. I've heard people are pretty stoked about it. I saw the Turtles one that's coming out. It looks really awesome.
I'm stoked. I'm actually going to get a couple of that get signed by Eastman when he does Garden State Comic Fest in June.
Yeah, I get to see him this weekend. He'll be at a local con out here. I'm going to go. I've got my TMNT 4 that I'm going to take to get signed by him. I wish I had more. Like, I've got some other cool stuff I wouldn't mind getting signed by him, but I don't know. I got to dig through and see. But I'm mostly going for Ron Perlman signatures on some Hellboy stuff. But
what convention's going on this week?
It's some just like South Carolina Comic-Con or something like that. It's a local, local one.
Like I said, because Eastman will be at Garden State Comic Fest in June. And, Garden gets really great guests.
Yeah.
And hopefully I can find my OG pizza wagon launcher from the OG toy line to get signed. So the only thing I have left from it is the original box for some reason.
I remember that toy. That was like one of my favorites. You're talking about the
it's the pizza
thing that shot the pizza.
Yep. I just find it
my
weird
favorite
myself
toy.
that I have the box, but I don't have the actual toy somewhere in the attic. It's like interesting. They're trying to do Wizard Magazine 2.0. They got some interesting takes on it. So
yeah, I mean, we've been asking for it as an industry forever, right? We've been wanting our Wizards back. We've been wanting, and as a retailer, we need more stuff like that can get out to customers and consumers and keep them informed months in advance on cool stuff. And like, we need that. It's something the industry should have had. We've had it digitally, but like people, like, we're not a digital comic collecting, at least right now, we're not a digital culture.
No.
If you want to disseminate that information, put it in print. In
fact, some of my favorite things to hunt for at shows now are old school fanzines.
Yeah. Fanzines, the old previews, the old Nintendo Powers, like stuff like that. Like, again, it's nostalgia stuff for guys like us, right?
Yeah.
I used to love getting those magazines every month, seeing what my, grabbing the Beckett, right? And seeing what my sports cards go up? Did this random card that was 30 cents last month is it 50 cents now? And like,
yeah, for me it wasn't a Beckett, it was the I think it was called Combo that had all the non-sport card price guide.
All the non-sport stuff, yeah.
So I'm not outside of like wrestling, I'm not really a sports guy.
Yeah. But I just mean like that nostalgia feel of like that was the thing, right? That was
Amazon stop.
So getting that nostalgia back again with having another physical medium that talks about cool stuff that's coming out, cool stuff that happened in comics, like that's good. It's really good. I'm curious what their print numbers are. I'm hoping it's successful and it's working out, so it's going to be around for a while.
Yeah, I mean, because so far I like what I've seen. I've also liked some of the secret drop variants that they did.
Yeah, that was cool.
They did that Sasabina with the three witches, which I thought was awesome. And that Arthur Adams one looked pretty sweet too.
Yeah.
And I know they also did an original story for talking about former Spec Darlings. They also did an original story for Q in issue 1.
Of what book on issue 1?
Q.
Oh, okay.
You know, so like I said, good stuff. Hey, JD, I think we should be coming towards the end of the hit list.
Yeah, the last thing was the Boys 1 CGC from Ace Comics.
I want to get your take on this. How come with one of the most successful independent, comic book TV shows outside of Invincible, how come nothing's moving the needle on the books?
On the Boys?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea. I've been wondering that for several years now. Like, why is the Boys 1 not a $2,000 book? It's hard to get a 9.8 on. The paper quality sucked on that book. It's a dark cover, right? And like, it's not, I don't know. Nothing seems to want to move. Yeah, I just don't get it. I don't get it. What's this one we're looking at?
I don't know if it's because it's been reprinted to death, but that's never stopped on the other book. That's hot.
No, it hasn't at all. How many different printings of Invincible do we have? And dude, the damn the Rick's Comics or whatever it was of Invincible.
Yeah,
what's that one?
Oh, the Larry's cover.
Yeah, the Larry's is like an $800 book right now.
Yep.
Like, you're gonna tell me a Larry's is more than a Boys 1 in a 9.8? Like,
yeah,
you
exactly.
kidding me, you know? Like, a Larry's Raw is almost $500. Like, that's insane. You can buy a Larry's Raw, a Boys 1 9.8 for less. If you're paying attention, you can buy one for less than you buy a Larry's Invincible 1 Raw. Like, that's wild.
It's insane, and that's like the most sought after Larry's Comics variant. Larry was retired and was a good friend of mine. So it's nice to see some of his variants still have legs.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know, dude. I don't know that much is going to move the needle on it that hasn't yet, and the series is going to come to an end here soon enough. So
yeah,
unless we get a bunch of offshoots,
they're prepared to do like another spin-off of it too.
Yeah. So it's like if it hasn't yet, is it ever going to?
Unfortunately, I don't think it is. It's a shame because the 72 issue run is an amazing read with some beautiful artwork in it.
Yeah. Well, and there's some major what I think it's issue 2 has 2 or 3 has like all of the supers in it.
Yeah, it's a 3.
Yeah, and like that book's extremely undervalued.
Yes, and then a 7, which is the first Homelander.
Yeah. And then you've got issue 2 has a lot of the boys, the boys,
Yep.
And that's an undervalued book for the most part. So yeah, I don't know. It's crazy. I don't have an answer for you on that one. It's a weird one. It's one of those comics, man, that I just don't know that we're ever going to know. I don't think we're ever going to figure it out. I think that book was worth more speculative before the first season came out than it has been ever since, and the series has been amazing.
The last time I got over $50 for a 1 and a 9.8 was right before season 1 aired.
Yeah, exactly my point. Like, that was the peak, but the show's been amazing. Usually the only time you see the peak being the height, the peak being that final push before the show is if the show sucks or it only lasts a season. Not something that's been going on this long and has been really, really good.
This has an MCU spec written all over it, or at least a recent MCU spec.
Yeah. 100 Bullets issue number 1 is another one like that. It's only a matter of time before that gets made into something. And 100 Bullets issue 1, you can still get a 9.8 for around $100, $150. It's one of the best written comics.
I think if they do Powers right, I think you can see things happen for Powers.
Yeah.
Even though they had that that streaming show a couple years back, which totally sucked. But there's a lot of cool things being an option right now that I have high hopes for.
Yeah.
So what's the next exclusive you got for Hive?
I have this weekend. We're dropping in Exquisite Corpses 12. And it's pretty fucking amazing.
That's awesome. I look forward to seeing the drop.
Yeah, it'll be a good one. It's Cassia. I'm trying to remember her last name, but fantastic artist. She's definitely very underrated. Definitely somebody we're going to be using a lot on covers. I think when they do the whole mini series, because the mini series for Exquisite comes out, where they're doing they've got the Fox Mask Killer mini. I think it's gonna be like 4 issues.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna keep her on all 4 issues. I think she killed this one. I think we're gonna keep her on it. And then the Rascal Randy one, I'm still trying to. I reached out to an artist, a very particular artist for the Rascal Randy stuff. I'm not going to put it out there into the world who it is, but if you know me, you can probably figure out who it was.
I think I know who you're talking about.
But we'll see.
I think I've heard the name mentioned. I'll be on Wednesdays a few times.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, I mean, that's what I've got next, and then I'm trying to remember what I got after that. I've got Something's Killing the Children 48 that'll be coming up soon, and then I've got a whole list for like May and June.
Nice.
Doing Turtles again. Turtles will be fun. Oh, absolute!
What are you doing for Turtles?
Man, we're bringing Stan Yak back onto Turtles, man.
Awesome.
That local comic guy I was telling you about, he said, "Hey, what do you think about doing a Turtles exclusive?" And I said, "Well, I'll do Turtles, but we should get Stan Yak on it." And he's like, "Why is that?" And I showed him the
let me guess, the last Ronin there.
I showed him our last Ronin run, and I was like, "Dude, he's been doing commissions for Turtle stuff ever since that last Ronin. Like, that's his full-time job, has been doing commissions." Because
I eventually need to reach out to him because I want to get a commission done of something I had that got destroyed in Sandy.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, he's well ingrained in the Turtles lore now. So we reached out. We got him going on Turtles 20. Absolute Catwoman 2 with Kari Andrews. That's going to be amazing.
Nice.
We got Battle Beast 10, which is we got Rochta Lynn doing it, and it's a wraparound cover. It's going to be amazing. Black Cat 11 is going to be Sway or Swaby, Joshua Sway. Who's one of my favorite comic artists in the world right now. His run on Poison Ivy is one of the greatest comic book cover runs, in my opinion, ever. So we got him to do Black Cat 11, which is going to be really dope.
Nice.
And then reached out to Aaron Bartling on doing a project that's not quite yet confirmed, so I can't talk too much about it.
Fair enough.
Yeah. And then Exquisite 13 and blah, blah. Dude, I took all last year off from doing exclusives, other than the cover I did. And
with the Fashion Killer thing that you painted, which was beautiful.
Other than that, I really didn't do any exclusives last year. I was focusing on the other aspects of the business. And so I said, well, this year I'm going to hit the ground really hard and put out really cool shit. So that's what we've been doing up to this point. I'll get back on Department of Truth here pretty soon with a bunch of people, and I'm going to do Hello Darkness. We've got a meeting with Boom Studios this week to plan out some stuff with them. Sweet. In regards to other properties that they have coming down the pipeline and stuff that they currently have in production. And so it's going to be busy year.
That's awesome. And of course, everyone go to hivecomics.com and, check out. I always shout Hive Comics out in the beginning of every show, and I put the website in the show notes.
I think he was going to drop something.
I'm sorry.
We do have, I'm not going to get too much into the details, but do have an exclusive for Vegas. It is Dan Quintana, and I will leave it at that. And it's foil. and I'll leave it at that.
Nice.
All I'm gonna
He's
say.
blown in the last 2 weeks. He's blown the fuck up, man.
Yeah. So very, very excited. And we're already working with Dan. We're going to have signed copies available at the table in Vegas. We don't think he's going to come down. We've been talking to him about it. May or may not happen. But just in case it doesn't, we'll still have signed copies available
That's
at the table,
awesome.
which is going to be pretty cool. I'm excited. I can't say any more than that, but I'm
Not
really
that,
excited.
no, but like he's like the hottest thing going. He blew up like overnight after that absolute Batman 16.
Yeah. Well deserved too, man. The man's an incredible talent. Super nice dude. Has one of the greatest signatures in all of comics.
So let me get this straight. He really paints his signature?
Yeah. Yep. He's
That's-
full paintbrush and everything, man. It takes forever for him to dry, but man, they look amazing.
Because I heard Eazy-E talking about it the other night. I was like, wait, this guy actually paints. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Those two detective books are just like blown the freak up, man.
Oh yeah, dude. I know that's crazy. And the fun, like I thought about picking a bunch up too. I waited
I'm
a little
kicking
too long.
myself because about a month ago I passed on a couple of them at $6 a piece.
Yeah, I know. I
So
did
you all
a
come
deep
back to
dive.
it, and I was
I
like,
did a deep dive when I knew he was going to be at MegaCon, right? I did what I normally do, and I go and I start scouring Penguin and Lunar to see what they have in back stock, and then I'll usually hop on eBay and I'll like hunt around on eBay. And I saw that cover on eBay quite a few times at a really reasonable price, like near mints for 10 or 15 or whatever. And I thought about grabbing a bunch, man, but I was like, well, I don't know how much Quintana stuff. I don't know if I'm even going to be able to get through his line. Like, so I didn't go heavy on the Quintana stuff, but man, I would have had a bundle of those. But hindsight, right? Hindsight's 2020 for sure.
Because of me, I said, ooh, I'm tired. I'll go back in the morning. And by the time I woke up to do it, gone.
Yeah. Well, and there was even a first peak too. Like there was people that started talking about it when it was hitting $50. Like just what week and a half, 2 weeks ago, people are like, hey, these are, go grab them. It's the first cover, and they're $50 right now. And a lot of people saw that and were like, okay. And now it's I don't know what they're going for now. I know it's over 150, right?
Yeah, I saw one on eBay the other day. Red Hood brought it to my attention that it was going for like almost 250.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's a beautiful cover.
Oh yeah, it's one of the best Spectre covers I've seen in years.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I just before we wrap up, I just want to really say thank you for coming on tonight. I also want to thank you for being a really good friend and always supporting the podcast, man.
Oh, of course, man. I'm happy we were able to get our schedules to line up for me to be on. I know it's hard especially around convention season and stuff, but I've been wanting to do this again for a while, so it's been, I was really looking forward to it. So it's been a lot of fun.
Like I said, this is more of a personal year for me this year than anything else.
Yeah.
I finally, started taking my mental health seriously. I had a little bit of a setback with the CLL back in January, where I had the rash from hell, and I just decided to set back and just do a reset and rebuild everything from the ground up.
Yeah. I mean, I did that you talked offline about this, but I did that. That's what all of last year was for me, was a big, what does the business look like running it solo? I had Jonathan for years and years, and he had his part. He did a lot of the variant stuff. We would make decisions together, but he ran the variant stuff, and I did more of the live sell stuff, and I did more of the packaging and shipping stuff and the order fulfillment. But like trying to figure out how to balance it all and make it work together, it took me a year. And I had to take that time. The year before that, I stopped doing conventions for a while because like I needed to know my role in conventions. I needed to know, I kind of had fallen out of love with the comic community in general. my love for original art and my love for vintage brought me back into it. And then I got back into reading again, and then I fell back in love with the books I've been enjoying, like Something is Killing the Children and Department of Truth and all those books. I started rereading stuff I grew up on. You know,
like I said, as far as those two books, I just discovered on YouTube someone did up to issue 25 of Something's Killing the Children as a motion comic.
Nice.
I wish the voice casting was a little bit better, but I'll take what I can get. Because
yeah.
No, because with motion comics on YouTube, when it comes to indie stuff, it's a little bit scarcer than Marvel and DC stuff. You know, so I'd love to get into Department of Truth. I just, you know, gotta just find myself an actual reader again.
Yeah, it's a good book, man. It's been fun. It's been really fun. They've all been fun, man. We got some really good writing right now, not just Tinian. I know my favorite books are all Tinian stuff, but there's some really good writing in comics right now, in independent comics right now. There's some really good stuff going on. So we're in a very exciting time. We have been for, I feel like, the last couple of years. We've got some writers like Nectar was amazing. The writer that wrote Nectar's got another book coming out. There's lots of talent coming from outside of the comic space that are now coming into the comic space, like from some very well-established writers. You know, and it's a really fun time if you enjoy reading comics. It's a really, really good time, you know, especially in independents. Again, like there's some really fun independents coming out. So,
yep. So, like I said, thank you so much for being a guest, and we will definitely be in touch, man.
Yeah, of course.
And to everyone else, you can follow JV everywhere by just IamJVWheels_ everywhere on the internets. And you can follow me at The Real Blind Adam on Instagram. Even though I would like certain people to unfollow me, but I'll get into that when I do what grinds my gears either tomorrow or Friday. Remember, you don't need to have a vision. It's not what happens to you, it's what you do about it. If you are struggling, there's always someone to listen. If no one has said they love you today, I love you. Keep one foot in the gutter, one fist in the goal. Love you all. Blind Adam out.